morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of VSTAR Radio. So today, we need to take a look at a new product which has gone and been announced, which is gonna be amazing, although sadly, we have precious little information about it. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I come in. You see, along with some other products we've already talked about, Pokémon went and revealed the V and VSTAR promo card pack. And what you get is one Pokémon V and one Pokémon VSTAR. There are 3 there in total. And it specifically says Pokémon that have not been Pokémon VSTAR until now will appear as Pokémon VSTAR. I know. So what you get is a V and VSTAR promo card pack. That gets you one Pokemon V and one VSTAR. 8 packs of the expansion pack Lost Abyss. That's the one that was revealed for the first time the other day. And one VSTAR marker. This is releasing on the 5th of August, which you might notice is actually a little bit later. Lost Abyss itself is actually coming on the 15th of July. So this is, if I'm remembering correctly, I think 3 weeks after the release of Lost Abyss, so this is a little bit later, and it is retailing for 1,980 yen, which if we go and put into a currency we tend to use a bit more often, you're looking somewhere in the region of around about $14.50 or around about £12. And incidentally, right, if these were actually being sold in the UK for £12, I'm not even joking when I say I'd probably buy 10 of them. They are that gosh darned cool. Question is, what's in them? Now, some of it's easy. VSTAR marker, well, we've seen them. We know what they look like. 8 packs of Lost Abyss? Yeah, we know what that looks like. Of course, that is a little bit awkward. Because generally speaking, right, you buy a box of Lost Abyss, you know what you're getting. You know, Japanese boxes have very clear pull rates. Really wish they'd do that in English. But we know that when you buy a box in Japan, you're going to get 4 Pokemon V, 2 Pokemon V-Star or V-Max, a Radiant Pokemon if they're in the set, which of course they're not in Lost Abyss, 3 character rares if they're in the set, which of course we know they're not in Lost Abyss, and 1 secret rare, which is to say a full art or higher. So if you bought a booster box, you get 4 Pokemon V, 2 V-Star or V-Max, and 1 secret rare. We can't say that about buying 8 random packs. You could get garbage. You could do well. Sorry. But then we get to this pack, and there are 3 pairs you get. Now, it doesn't specifically say, the actual word they use is one of the 3 card sets. And it says a set of 1 Pokemon V and 1 Pokemon V-Star. So I think it's fair to assume that we are going to be getting, you know, a matching Pokemon V and V-Star. That seems like a fair prediction, I think, at this stage. You're going to get a V and a V-Star that match. And we know that they are going to be Pokemon that haven't had V-Star so far. So then the question becomes, which ones are we getting? And that is a much, much more interesting question. Because you see, at this stage, I think it's fair to take a step back and actually say, for those of you that may not have remembered, we've seen this product twice before. We've actually seen it twice. Now, the first time it came around was the 23rd of October 2020, so about 2 years ago. Yes, you're going to start seeing a bit of a pattern here. And you got, and this is still to this day, one of the very, very best Pokemon TCG products they've ever released. What you actually got there was one of all 8 packs that have been released in the Sword and Shield era so far. So you got 1 sword, you got 1 shield, etc., all the way up to Tag Bolt, what would be our Vivid Voltage. You got 1 pack of each main and each mini set that had been released up to that stage. I bought 2, I opened 1, I saved 1. The one I opened had really good pulls. I didn't want to risk it. And it was a real big risk, because you can see there were actually 4 options. Now, in the pack, you got yourself 1 VMAX and 3 energy that matched it. Cramorant incidentally got you water energy because that is colourless. And it was a real minefield. Because Dhelmise and Cramorant were brand new VMAXs we'd never seen before. Both of them were pretty good, both very playable. And they were only ever available in this set. So they ended up being pretty valuable. And then the Cinderace and Morpeko were alternate art reprints of existing cards that were... The Morpeko saw a bit of play, Cinderace saw a bit of play, they were never that great. My point is, half of the boxes had brand new VMAXs which were awesome and worth way more than the box, and half of them had garbage reprints. It was kind of stressful. And then we saw it with the Eevee VMAX box. Now, the lovely Antoine Boulet was able to hit me up with one of these, and I'm very, very, very grateful about that. And this was a similar kind of thing, except you got 8 packs of Eevee Heroes, and then you got one of 4 VMAXs, again with the free corresponding energy. Interestingly enough, I also got Vaporeon, so apparently I love water energy. And here it was Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Espeon. And these VMAXs, the regular version at least, were only ever made available in this product. They were exclusive. So that means we can say a few things about this new product. They are going to be new V-Stars, which we have kind of been told because they're Pokemon that haven't had V-Star in the past. They are going to be exclusive. And, that means they're not going to be printed elsewhere. Now, there is a little bit of a change-up. We've got a V and a V-Star, rather than a V-Max and free energy. But this is basically what the product is going to be. And come on, look at the promo pack. You're getting 8 packs. It's this, okay? In 2020, we had the one with the 4 V-Maxes. In 2021, we had the Eevee Heroes. And in 2022, we get this one. If you find yourself in a situation where you can buy these, I recommend them super highly. I've opened one of the Eevee VMAX. I got 2 of the first one and opened one and saved one. I'm not really building a sealed collection. I just don't have the heart to open it in case it has Morpeko or Cinderace in. I want it to be Dhelmise because one I opened had Cramorant. But if it's not Dhelmise, I'm going to be gutted. So I will probably never open it until I don't know, I'm like 70 and I'm really sad one day and I open it to cheer myself up. So then we get back to the question of this new one. What are the V-Star going to be? And what they could do was kind of make things right. Give Pokemon that don't have V-Stars, V-Stars. So, one obvious candidate here would be Hisuian Electrode V. It would make a huge amount of sense to give a V-Star to Hisuian Electrode V. Because that is a Pokemon that debuted in Legends Arceus. It was one of the Guardians. Or totems, I think they were called. And it's a new regional form, etc., etc. That would make a lot of sense. That would be cool. Or something like Gallade, which is a very popular Pokemon. He's had a V, but not a V-Star. They could do this. They could take Pokemon that haven't had a V-Star and give them a V-Star. But this could end up being a little bit weird. So one thing we saw way back in Darkness Ablaze, we saw Crobat V. And Crobat V is a very good card. Play from your hand to your bench, draw till you got 6 cards in your hand. It's absolutely nuts. And one thing we tend to see as a bit of a pattern, Pokemon that don't have VMAX or V-Star tend to be better than Pokemon that do. Pokemon that do tend to be a bit more of a conduit. Hey, we're playing it to get to the VMAX or V-Star. But ones that don't tend to just, be a bit better. But then later on down the line, we actually end up getting Crobat VMAX, and Crobat VMAX ends up being, moderately playable, but all of a sudden, that's a little bit redonkulous, because of course, the Crobat was already so good, that then we went and brought in the VMAX, and all of a sudden, that was kind of a ridiculous combo. And I would personally love to see that coming in here with Lumineon. I would love a Lumineon V-Star. Lumineon, of course, is, like the modern Crobat. It's got that amazing ability, lets you play it from your hand to your bench and then just search for a supporter. Also, I finally got a good pull the other day in an English pack, and it was the alternate art of this, which is a beautiful card. So, I would love to see Lumineon V-Star. But actually, at this stage, I think we need to go back to the Eevee Heroes box, because this could be very instructive. Because one of the interesting things you'll see is in your average Japanese main set, you will get 8 Pokemon V and 4 V Max / VSTAR. And if we go to Eevee Heroes, that's exactly what happened. All 8 of the evolutions were in Eevee Heroes as Pokemon V. But not all of the V Max. You see, in Eevee Heroes, we did get V Maxes of Glaceon, and Leafeon, and Sylveon, and Umbreon. But we didn't get the Gen 1ers and Espeon, because they were taken out to be put in this box. Now, what is interesting is we have been told on the official site that it is one of 3 types. Very clearly, one of the 3 card sets is randomly included. So we know that it is one of 3, not one of 4, which is the only thing that hurts this a little bit. But we know that in Lost Abyss, we know that we're getting Giratina VSTAR, and we know that because we've literally seen it. And we've been told, although we haven't seen, that we are getting Aerodactyl VSTAR, we're getting Drapion VSTAR, and we are getting Kyurem VMAX. But we are expecting 4 other Pokemon V in the set. We don't know what they are, we've not been told, I'm sorry. I think they have got to be the leading candidates to get V-Stars in this particular box. No guarantee. Not at all. But I think that's a fair prediction to make. That would be what I would go for. Now, obviously, it's only going to be 3 out of 4, which means one of those 8 Pokemon V get really badly left out. But I think that's probably a fair point to make. As for the Pokemon V, I'm guessing alternate art or new card. I think, again, that's a pretty fair prediction. This is the kind of thing that Pokemon tend to do. In these packs, you tend to get alternate art. Like the Morpeko and Cinderace are alternate art, I think the Vs in here will be as well. They could be new cards. So one thing I showed you again the other day was, for instance, this lovely promo pack we had that got you different versions of Ice Rider and Shadow Rider Calyrex, not alternate arts, new versions, and was pretty much released alongside Silver Lantern Jet Black Poltergeist, which had them in to begin with. So they could be new versions of it, or they could be alternate art. I would be very surprised if they were straight reprints. So there we go. That's my predictions. That's what you need to know. As it stands, we have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. But when we know, I will tell you guys, because I'm really excited and I want to share. But for now, tell me what you think about all of this. Tell me your predictions. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.